The methodology I will present here has been in use for more than 40 years. It has proved to be extremely robust. In IT projects it has resulted in software that has settled down within 1 to 2 months and then continued operating for many years without any changes. When do solutions fail? When things that can never happen do. When situations are just plainly left out, not even considered. When actions are taken but they are the wrong actions. When there are logical contradictions, or when there are misinterpretations of the intent or multiple interpretations of the intent. So what is it that problem solvers have? Solutions to problems are constantly being reinvented. Few, if any, problem solvers start by asking the question, has somebody already done this? If you don't have any experience, should you be working on the project? It's usually assumed that the problem solver is knowledgeable in the subject area of the problem being solved. Some really neat solutions to problems have been developed by people with neither experience or knowledge in a field, but this is very rare. Ask a half-dozen people to solve the same problem, and you will get 6 very different approaches to the solution. But the most undervalued quality of a good problem solver is intuition, or the attribute of allowing intuition to play a role in solving the problem. I'm going to relate a few anecdotal stories about the role that intuition plays in solving problems. Let's start with Archimedes. The king wanted to know if a goldsmith had used all of the gold he'd been given to make the king's new crown. Archimedes thought about the problem at great length, and then one day, while taking a bath, he suddenly realized how he could solve the king's problem. He excitedly took off in the buff, running down the streets of Syracuse, shouting, "Eureka! Eureka!" meaning, "I've got it! I've got it!" And indeed he did have it. I want to emphasize that after worrying the problem, the solution came to him in a moment of relaxation. As a tribute to Archimedes, I will call all such events Eureka moments. While watching a fly flitting around in a corner above him while he lay recuperating from some illness, René Descartes realized that he could describe the geometry of the fly's trajectory algebraically. He could use a coordinate system that described the fly's distances from the 2 adjacent walls and the ceiling at any moment in time, and so came up with what we today call Cartesian algebra. He didn't set out to marry Euclidean geometry and algebra, but was lying in a bed, and one assumes that he was in a relaxed state. Why didn't apples falling give anyone else the stimulus to describe gravity? For Sir Isaac Newton it was the last straw that tweaked his intuition. The Irish astronomer Hamilton had his intuitive breakthrough while taking a walk with his wife. Worried that he would not remember his solution, he scratched the solution on the stones of a bridge. After reaching home, he hurried back with pencil and paper to copy down his equations. In my own experience, the moments have been so lucid that it would be almost impossible to forget the details. In Cambridge, Littlewood and Hardy had been working on a complex mathematical problem for a number of years. But it was while Littlewood was hiking in the Swiss Alps that he suddenly realized what the solution was. There are many stories of this kind, all of which have a common thread. All the people who have these experiences have had to have been worrying the problem. It is my contention that the methodology being presented here works because it disciplines the process of worrying the problem.